Hey everybody, welcome to this week's edition of Meta Market Weekly. I'm Justin along with our co-host Fernando. It's been a week and it's nice to be back to see everybody. Fernando, how you doing?
Hey Justin, I'm doing great. Yeah, it's been a while. I was actually on a vacation last week. So in case you're all wondering why we weren't around, I was taking a nice vacation. But it's all good now. We're back here. And yeah, as usual, we're gonna be talking a little bit of the market sentiment. We're gonna be sharing some articles. We're gonna be talking about several topics. So yeah, let's give it a go. Let me start by bringing my trading view profile.
So let me start by asking you, do you think we're finally in a bear in a bull market?
No, not at all. The bull market always begins after the halving, and let me bring this right now. So the halving is it happens in 236 days, and I'm gonna share with you guys some information from the past. So so here we can see. Hold on. Okay, sorry. Let me share some other information with you. So the last halving was on May 11 of 2020. So if we take a look here, May 2020. Okay, here's the halving, and almost right after the halving, the bull market commences. So, and it's not just on this last cycle. For example, if we go to the other cycle from the previous one, which started on November 2012. Well, we can't really see too much because it's very small, but so you can see, yeah, here somewhere around before the halving, the market starts to pick up.
Yeah.
So the halving is a very important date. I mean, it's not set in stone. I mean, it could happen before, and especially right now that BlackRock and Fidelity, and we have all these big money, multi-trillion asset players taking an interest in Bitcoin. So I mean, what I definitely think that could happen is that we have a nice spike up to this area to 46K. And as I've mentioned before, the reason why I give that area is because if we use the Fibonacci retracement, we can see that the golden pocket sets perfectly on that area, which is here. Sorry for, I got a lot of uh things going on with my chart, but it's this area. This is a golden pocket. So that's definitely why I believe that if we have, no, we will have. I mean, I don't want to say if. I know that we're gonna have a nice rally very soon, most likely between August and September. And I know that we're gonna get to this area, and then we're gonna have a retracement. But I wouldn't call that a bull market yet. Like I said, I'm expecting the bull market to happen after the halving. So we're still 235 days away from that. Right now, what I do expect is, um, the sentiment right now is positive, and I was actually kind of expecting that we would already be on this parallel channel, but we're still on this one below. We have a major resistance here. We touched this level, and we've just been on and off, on and off. We've touched it one, two, three, four, 5 times already. Um, we're gonna break it very soon. I can guarantee you that. However, the RSI we reached over bought a week ago. So I think right now, what the market is doing is just trying to push these numbers a little bit lower. I don't think we're gonna go all the way down, but maybe somewhere around here, 47. And after that, I'm very positive that we're gonna reach this next resistance, which is 36K. We will probably stay here for a while. And then by August, September, I am very positive that we're gonna reach this level. And then just like before, we're gonna have a correction, wait to wait until the halving, and after that, the bull market's gonna begin. That's my prediction. I don't know if you have any comments on that, Justin.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, cycles, that's exactly what continues to
Yeah.
happen over and over again. I just think the one thing that, like we talk about before with kind of black swan events in this very
Mhm.
unprecedented time, we just don't know what those are going to be. So those are the only things that can really kind of
Yeah.
throw things off. But yeah, for sure. I mean, overall, say long term, I agree with everything you said.
Yeah, yeah, and like you said, the only thing that could throw us off would be a Black Swan event. But if this is the case, that we get a Black Swan event, it's gonna be pretty much immediate. In the previous cycle, we had a major Black Swan event, one like we've never seen before, which was COVID, and we can see here the effect of it. We reached the golden pocket here, and then we had the correction that we were expecting, and then here, I mean, this was not supposed to happen, but it happened, and this was due to the COVID situation. And I don't know if you remember that. I mean, it not only affected crypto, but I don't know if you saw that oil went below $1. So I mean, I don't know how that
Yep.
works. I don't know how you buy oil. I have no idea, but I definitely know that a lot of people made a lot of money there. Something massive happened, and I don't think that we're gonna see a Black Swan event again. Maybe that the biggest Black Swan event that I could see right now happening would be that there's a major issue with Binance. That the Binance falls off a cliff, kind of like an FTX event. But I really don't think so, and we're gonna go into details about this topic later on the podcast. But I really don't think CC, which is the owner of the CEO of Binance, I really don't see him to be the same kind of person as Sam Bankman Free, or I don't remember his full last name. Uh, but yeah, no, definitely, I don't think that's gonna happen. But if there were to be a big Black Swan event, it would be that one. I mean, they already threw everything they could throw at us right now, and we overcame it. And now, the moment we had BlackRock embracing Bitcoin, and I'm gonna talk more about it in a moment. That was very significant for the crypto market. And even though we're not in a bull market yet, the sentiment has shifted. So all that shady stuff about us and negative press and all that, I think it's over. But it's not just good for crypto. I want to talk a little bit about the stock market. So the S&P 500 is looking very positive. We broke two major resistance levels a couple of months ago, so it's looking great. We still have these major resistance to break, and then this one. But I am very positive that once we break this one, once we reach this level, we're gonna have a pullback. And the reason why I say this is because the RSI, it's already at almost at overbought levels. I mean, we're barely scratching that level. So
Mhm.
I'm very positive that we're gonna we break this resistance, this area, which is 4600, and then once we reach 4800, then we're probably gonna see a rejection here. And once it's rejected, it goes down a little bit and then it takes off. So yeah, I mean, if you ask me, everything's looking great right now. Let's take a look at Tesla. We had the crash last year, where some companies lost over 90% of their value. I think one of them was PayPal, another one was Netflix, Meta was one of them. We can see it, and this is not a cryptocurrency for that those people that say, oh, Bitcoin is too volatile or whatever. This is a traditional stock. For example, Facebook went from almost $400 to $100. So that's like a loss of 80%. So those are Bitcoin numbers. So yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. But that brings me to the first article that I wanted to mention with you guys. So I've lately been seeing a lot of articles from uh you know newsletters and publishers like Forbes and CNBC, saying that that it is very possible that the U.S. is heading for a recession. And all of my noob friends, they're like, no, no, you gotta be careful because the recession is coming. And I'm like, man, that recession already happened. They're just gaslighting you and doing inverse Kramer tactics. And I'm gonna explain to you and everyone why. So what's the definition of a recession? Mm, so I had okay, I think it's this one. Yeah, perfect. So a recession can be defined as a sustained period of weak or negative growth in real GDP that is accompanied by a significant rise in the unemployment rate. So when the GDP of a country is negative, that's a recession. And we already had that. And when it happened, we had Joe Biden. He actually, and this is not me being crazy or throwing speculation. Joe Biden actually asked WikiLeaks, no, I'm sorry, Wikipedia to change the definition of what a recession is to fit his agenda. He literally did that. So he changed the definition of a recession. So people did not go at him saying that, oh, you're one of the worst presidents, blah, 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 blah. So we already had a recession. We had two tiny recessions. I guess they try to kind of hide the recession by printing money, but the market couldn't hold. This was in 2020, and then we had another minor recession here. So I want to emphasize a little bit on what happened here. So this is COVID. The government forces 90% of all businesses to close, and we have the biggest recession ever recorded. I mean, well, from this data, it goes all the way to the year 2000. But in the last 23 years, this is the worst quarter we've ever had. We went all the way down to 30%. I mean, this is Great Depression numbers. I mean, it's incredible. And then the next quarter, we have the highest GDP, like positive GDP in all history of the United States. So what happened? I mean, this does not make sense. Like, how does it go from the worst quarter in the history of the United States to the best quarter in one quarter? So the reason why is the government printed about $20 trillion worth of money
Yeah.
that they didn't have. Yeah, and they caused inflation, and they gave 90% of that money to the companies and their friends, and then they gave the rest, to the U.S. citizens with $1,000 stimulus checks, and everybody else was left holding the bag with inflation. So this is what happened here. I mean, they printed so much money, and they try to hide the fact that we were in a recession. But numbers don't lie. I mean, if you don't know how to pick up the numbers, they can manipulate you and they can lie to you, and you're just gonna believe whatever they say because you don't know how to look at the data. But right now, we're doing the math, like with you, Justin, and everyone. Apples and oranges or whatever. And here the data indicates what happened. I mean, look at this. This doesn't make sense. How does it go from minus 30 to plus 30 in 1 quarter. It's impossible. And the reason, and I'm not, throwing out a conspiracy theory or whatever. I am showing you and everyone the numbers. This is what happened. They
Yep.
printed literally around $20 trillion. They gave it to their friends. They kind of calmed down the situation, but it was not enough to, make the market pick up again. Then we had another tiny recession, by the end of 2022. And I would say that the market is, I mean, kind of healthy. Last quarter doesn't look very, I mean, it got a 1.5 growth. I mean, it's not too great, but it's not bad. Let's see how the next quarter plays out. Hopefully, it's gonna be positive. As long as it's above 1%, we're good. If it falls below 1%, if it falls below 0%, I'm sorry, and we have two straight quarters, then we have a recession. So, and also in addition to that, to the definition of a recession, it says that is accompanied by a significant raise in the unemployment rate. So if we can see here, the unemployment rate when 2020 happened, it's massive. I mean, we haven't had those numbers since ever. In the last 20, let me see how far this goes. Yeah, it goes for like 20 years. So this is the highest. It went all the way to 19%. So I mean, if you're one of those guys who believes everything Fox News and CNBC says, I mean, I don't know what to say to you. The numbers don't lie. This is a recession. I mean, this is clearly the highest unemployment rate in the last 25 years. This is a recession. And right now, the numbers are back to normal. So if you ask me, are we in a recession or heading for a recession? Definitely no. Absolutely no. The recession already happened. You were just too distracted by COVID and inflation and all that stuff. You were running for your life. You were so scared that you didn't realize that something major was happening around you. So absolutely no. And the government's just deceiving you. I mean, they're just manipulating you and telling you to do something, and they do something else. Which brings me to the first video that I wanted to share with you guys. So just a moment.
The rich get richer.
Yes.
This is not illegal to do.
No, manipulating the news cycle, if you're smart about it, is
Right.
they can get away with it. Nobody's ever been arrested for anything like
So-
this. On September 12th, Jamie Dimon says Bitcoin is a fraud. He says he'll fire any one of his traders buying Bitcoin. Bitcoin drops 24%. When Jamie Dimon speaks,
People listen.
people listen. So that weekend, we found out that the largest buyer of a Bitcoin fund that's in Europe that buys physical.
No, sorry, it's loading. Can you hear me, Justin?
I can. Loading.
Yeah. Let's. What do you think about that while it loads? I mean, it's true. I don't know if you saw the article the other day when that happened.
Yeah, this is exactly what they do. They manipulate.
Yeah.
This is the new warfare, psychological warfare. People think about war and they think about guns and tanks and all of those different things, which yes is one type of war. But the thing is that we, and when you say, when I say to people that don't really pay attention to these things, we are in a war right now. They don't think that it's true. But the thing is this is not a war with guns and tanks and fighter jets. This is a war of as a psychological war.
Yeah.
Playing on the American people for quite a long time. And this is exactly what they do. It's double speak. They push the narrative in the direction that they want it to go. They'll say something is bad one day, the next day they'll say it's great, etc., etc. It's exactly what we're seeing now with the attempted takeover of crypto by Wall Street, by the government. They're colluding together to shut down all of the big independent players in the space, to then basically usher in an era of Wall Street controlled exchanges
Bitcoin.
and coins. That's what they're trying to do.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, it's they're just manipulating, and like you said, instead of fighting with tanks and missiles, they're just doing economic sanctions and lying
Yep.
to you. But I think it's loading now. So let me I'm gonna play it again from the beginning because
Okay.
you know, we might have gone off point. So okay.
The rich get richer.
Yes.
This
right.
is not illegal to do.
No, the manipulating the news cycle, if you're
yes.
smart about it, is they can get away with it. Nobody's ever been arrested for anything like this. On September 12th, Jamie Dimon says Bitcoin is a fraud. He says he'll fire any one of his traders buying Bitcoin. Bitcoin drops 24%. When Jamie Dimon speaks, people listen. People listen. So that weekend, we found out that the largest buyer of a Bitcoin fund that's in Europe that buys physical Bitcoin, right? The largest buyer was Morgan Stanley and JP Morgan. And that's not illegal.
He says it's a fraud.
It says we fire anyone that buys it. Yes.
And at the same time, his company is buying it.
His company is buying it.
It's just, I mean, so unethical.
Right. On tech.
This is.
So that's pretty much it. You know, that's what
Yep.
they're doing.
Exactly.
And
I love how
I
I love how he said they're buying physical Bitcoin. I had to think about that for a second. I was like,
yeah, me too.
obviously
I
know
mean,
nothing about crypto.
they're noobs. They're noobs. They have no idea what they're talking
But
about.
that's okay. It's beyond the point. I just thought it was funny. But yeah, that's exactly what they're doing. 100%.
Yeah, and I'm gonna share another video that I shared. I think in another podcast, but it's just a continuation of the same.
Based on everything we know now, when they say to sell, does that mean we should buy?
And so, yeah, it's like you know Jim Cramer. If you do exactly the opposite of what he's advising, you actually make money.
Huh?
Yeah, it's called the inverse Cramer.
So pretty much, you know, the inverse Cramer ETF is you know, an ETF created to do exactly the opposite of what Jim Cramer tells the audience to do. And this guy, you know, the guy talking who's being filmed is an executive from BlackRock. So that executive from BlackRock is admitting, you know, that the people up top tell you and everyone to do the opposite of what they're doing. So that's pretty much what's going on with the world right now. I mean, we live in very crazy, unusual times, and you know, we have AI, deep fakes. You know, they can alter images and videos right now. You know, with software, and we don't even know how it works, but you know, people can do this now. So it doesn't work anymore to trust anyone. So right now we live in a time where if you do not think for yourself and you don't, you know, draw your own conclusions, do the math, you're gonna be manipulated. You're gonna be left behind. You're not gonna make it. You know, if you were, I always say this because I saw this, but the generation of my parents, the baby boomers, they were a generation that they didn't question authority. They just followed their parents. They just followed you know, the government, and that's the reason why we're in this situation. You know, we have baby boomers. They complain like, why are millennials and Gen Z this way? We're this way because we come from your education. Yeah, you know, the baby boomers educated this generation, and you educated millennials and you know, Gen Zers to just follow orders. And that's the reason why, you know, the world is the way it is right now. That's why the new generations are very rebel, because they understand that it is not okay to follow orders blindly. That's the reason why we're in the situation we are right now, because we don't question authority. And so yeah, pretty much that's what I would say right now, that don't blindly listen to CNBC, Fox News, you know, anyone. Don't do that. Always, you know, play devil's advocate, listen to both sides of the story, and draw your own conclusions. Because if not, if you're listening to CNBC and all the Jim Cramer, you're not gonna make it. And time doesn't come back naturally. So once you spend 10 years of your life listening to the government, one day you wake up, you're 40, you're 50, you're 60, and there's no going back. So from now on, my advice would be for everyone to start drawing your own conclusions and pay attention, because the government is not your friend. I don't know if you want to add anything to that, Justin.
Yeah, there's a Benjamin Franklin quote: "Freedom is not a gift bestowed upon us by other men, but by a right that belongs to us by the laws of God and nature." And I think that it's something we've completely forgotten, and I think it's something we have to remember. People have to stand up to these things, because you have to remember as well that you are complicit in this if you don't stand up and say something, because you're sitting there as a bystander and as someone who could be standing up and saying something. So you have to live your life in the way that you believe is aligned with your beliefs. You have to shop at the places that have the same moral values as you. You have to use your money in the way that you want to see in companies, and invest in places that are believing the same things that you believe in. And you have to speak your mind, and you have to question authority 100%. The Constitution of the United States of America says basically that this document was created to defend against enemies, foreign and domestic, and that it is our duty as the people of America to abolish a government that is not for the people, and that is against us. And I think that we are living in a dystopian people talk about 1984 and these kind of surveillance state situations, and these kind of of far future dystopias, like they're not already here. And I think they're already here. It's already here. It's just it's not the movie version that you think it is. And the important part is I'm not trying to say that to scare people or be a fearmonger or anything like that. I'm saying that so people can be aware and make different choices, not engage in their TV and their food and their medicine and all of these different things, and demand excellence in your own life. Be physically fit, be rich, be independently wealthy, be independently successful, because the more people we have that are like that don't have to rely on the system, the more powerful we become. And I think it all starts with absolutely questioning authority and just using common sense. I think that's just something that the world has lost. It's like just common sense. It's very, very simple. So yeah, absolutely.
I agree. I was gonna say that it feels like the world has lost common sense, and it's easier to judge than to think. That's why everybody judges, and when thinking is very hard. You have very few leaders because of that. Absolutely. It's crazy.
Yeah,
but
I totally agree.
I wanted to share now this next article. The BlackRock CEO says that crypto is digital gold and Bitcoin is an international asset. But for those of you that don't know who BlackRock is, they're the main guys. They're the private group of people that control the whole planet Earth. These guys are above. These guys control the U.S. government. The U.S. government is like a tiny section, it's like a office of BlackRock. So these guys, they're like the main dog. So and this guy, he's the CEO, and I'm gonna share this video really quick of what he said this week.
And also, I do believe the role of crypto is It's digitizing gold in many ways. Instead of investing in gold as a hedge against inflation, a hedge against the onerous problems of any one country, or the devaluation of your currency, whatever country you're in. Let's be clear, Bitcoin is an international asset. It's not based on any one currency. And so it can represent an asset that people can play as an alternative. I would call the foundation of BlackRock is about hope. You invest for retirement because you believe tomorrow is better than today.
So there you go. The CEO of the company that controls the world just said that crypto, not just Bitcoin, has value. It's an international asset and is going to replace gold.
Yeah,
And
that's the same thing. It's the same thing as Jamie Dimon's bullshit. It's we talked about this on a few shows ago, how I think you showed there was a Telegram tweet, or there was a tweet that you showed that was in he said something, Larry Fink said something in 2017 about how cryptocurrency is dead and it's never going to be anything, etc., etc. And now they're turning around and saying something different, and it's all a coordinated psychological attack.
Absolutely.
These people do not think that crypto is cool or worth anything or anything like that. They are just trying to control it. That's what they're trying to do, and try to make money off of it. If the billionaires can become more to make more money, they're going to do so. That's just it.
But mostly I would say they're trying to make money of it. So when the market is high, when the price is up, they start saying that Bitcoin is bad, blah blah blah, it's rat poison, blah blah blah. And when the market is pretty much dead, they're like, well, maybe there's something to it. Maybe it can change the world. Maybe. So they're just manipulating, Bitcoin. They're manipulating the market. They're manipulating everything. Not just crypto. The traditional. Justin, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So sorry, I thought I lost you.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So they're just manipulating the market, not just crypto. They're also manipulating the stock market. They don't care about you. They just use you as exit liquidity.
Yep.
And it's crazy, but at least if you were smart enough to hold Bitcoin before and crypto in general before all these new articles and statements from BlackRock and Valkyrie and Fidelity, you're gonna make money. The important thing is that you always do your own research, you draw your own conclusions, and you stay ahead of the curve, because that's the problem. Most people, they start buying Bitcoin when Jim Cramer tells them to buy Bitcoin and it's already at 69K, and they use you at exit liquidity. So just like I was saying before, we live in a time where if ignorance is a decision. In an age of information, if you decide to be ignorant, that's because that's who you are. I read the other day somewhere that you as an individual have access to more information than a government in the 1980s.
Yeah.
So if you just don't care about being informed, and because my grandma and my father and my teacher told me that this is bad, and just believe them, I'm sorry, but you kind of deserve everything that's coming your way. If you can't even get your phone and double check and try to draw your own conclusions, it's very hard. It's very hard for to make sense of everything. But that brings me to the next article that I wanted to share with you guys. I'm so sorry, I'm getting a call. Sorry, are you still there, Justin?
Yeah, I'm here. No worries.
Yeah, sorry, I was getting a call in the middle of our podcast. So yeah, that brings me to the next article that I wanted to share with you and everyone, which is gonna kind of drive it home with everything we're just saying right now. So, a judge blocks Biden's admin social media censorship move. So this week, in a notable development, a federal judge issued an extraordinary preliminary injunction on Tuesday. The injunction will block key agencies and officials from the Biden administration from engaging in meetings and communications with social media companies concerning protected speech. The ongoing case has the potential to significantly impact the First Amendment. So Biden's administration pretty much tried to censor some information on Twitter and some other platforms, and a judge said, no, this is not possible. So I'm pretty sure many of you are aware of what happened this week, that they found a substance in the White House to be confirmed to be cocaine. So yeah, I believe that's a felony in the US, right?
It is a felony. Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, this is like a tiny thing compared to what the Biden family has done, but
Oh,
just
yeah.
another it's it's another example of just how much these people are evil. They're just true
Yeah.
evil. There's nothing else that can be said about them. And it's sickening. It's a clown show, and it's absolutely 100% something that we as the people are the only ones that's going to change. It's not going to happen through elections, in my opinion. We need to do it in other ways.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, absolutely. This does not surprise me at all. It's par for the course with you know, Joe and Hunter and all of those people. So
Absolutely. And I'm gonna share with you and everyone. So I saw this tweet from Donald Trump that made me laugh a lot. Um, so let me, yeah, so I had it up here on the screen, but for whatever reason it got away. So I'm gonna find it because it's really good. We're almost there. Okay, there we go. Where are the White House security tapes, like the ones I openly and happily gave to deranged Jack Smith, which will quickly show where the cocaine in the White House came from? They already know the answer, but probably don't like it. So Donald Trump said this 2 days ago, and now then they released an article from CNBC News saying that cocaine found in the White House was in a different location than previously reported, source say. So, I mean, they're doing this in front of you and everyone. So they find cocaine and now they're saying that something totally different happened and that it was not in the room where they found it. So they're just they're just gaslighting everyone. And at this point, it's already ridiculous. You know, we just saw the article that they found cocaine. Having cocaine is a felony. You can go to jail for like 5 or 6 years. And you know, Hunter Biden, they found a laptop with you know, child pornography, corruption. The guy was smoking crack, and you know, they have enough material to put this guy in jail for like 120 years in jail, and they just give him like a ticket, and oh yeah, it's fine, don't worry about it, we're all humans, this is a love story between a father and a child. I mean, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous how the rules only apply for us, but not for them.
well, yeah, there's
And you
two
know, I'm
sets of rules for the elite versus all the other peasants underneath them, like us, like they like to think about us. And you know, it's crazy, man. It's really crazy. And you know, and that's the thing. It's like, what I think is important is that this issue is not Democrat or Republican. It's not black or white. It's not gay or straight. It's not Christian or Arab. It's not any of those things. It's literally the elite, the evil people, the small group of people who want to control and run the world and have legitimately talked about depopulation versus the people. That's it. That's
Yeah.
really it. And just we're bringing these things up because look at the people who are running the show, quote unquote, and are in charge of all of these agencies that are running around and are just dropping lawsuits on everybody and trying to do anything they can to bring down right now blockchain and crypto. It's always a different group of people that are trying to do something good every few years, but it's the same sort of repeated actions of just control and at the same time, let's just see how much money we can make and how much money we can take from people. It's crazy. So, again, not in any way trying to fearmonger or anything, but let's look to a brighter future of freedom and of abundance and of people respecting other people and honesty and transparency. And, we can create that future together. We just have to unite and come together and actually not only practice it in our own lives personally, but then also speak up. Because I was talking to a friend of mine the other day. It's a little off topic, but I was talking to my friend of mine the other day, and he's created like a truth Instagram, and he's like posting all this cool stuff and all this info about lots of different topics, right? And he's actually grown the page pretty fast. And, I said to him, that's really amazing that you're doing that, because you don't know what impact that makes on somebody. You don't know when you go and talk to somebody and speak about truth, or you share something new and different with somebody, a different perspective. You don't know what that sparks, what rabbit hole they go down, what awakening they have. And then, one day they're telling other people and speaking truth. And that's how, that's one of the ways we can start to change this reality. And, it's up to us. That's my point. It's up to us. It's no one is going to come save us. There's no president, no government, no anything. We need to do it ourselves.
Absolutely. And that's why we need to do something. I mean, I wouldn't say fight, but we need to demand our rule makers and governors and presidents for more transparency for blockchain technology. Because at the end of, I mean, we've been saying this for a long time, but the moment our government and the system begins to adopt blockchain technology, this is all over. It's checkmate. Blockchain technology is checkmate. Once everyone starts peacefully protesting that we want blockchain technology, that we want voting with blockchain technology, banking services with blockchain technology, paying taxes with blockchain technology, everything with blockchain technology. The moment we start using blockchain technology for everything, this problem dies, because the blockchain technology replaces the need to trust someone else with math and technology, and that's what we need right now. That's what we need. It's very crazy. And I just really quick, I wanted to share a quick video of what happened with Biden and the cocaine. Let me.
Developments in the House investigations into the First Family's international business dealings recently. There's one committee trying to get an FBI file alleging that President Biden took bribes. There's another IRS whistleblower who's alleging there's a cover-up in the investigation. Amid all of this, there was a Harvard-Harris poll this month that found that 53% of the public, including a fourth of Democrats, believe, quote, Joe Biden was involved with his son in an illegal influence peddling scheme. There's, of course, evidence that the president interacted with his relatives, associates from China, Mexico, Kazakhstan, Russia, and Ukraine. So what do you say to the majority of Americans who believe that the president is himself corrupt?
All right, let's go. Let's go. Thanks.
There have been many.
So that was his answer, pretty much. That's what when he's confronted with the truth, I don't like it. I pick my things and I go.
Well, you know what I say, communication in the human world, 90% of it is nonverbal. And
Yeah,
from the look in his eyes and the way that
yeah,
his shoulders were kind of like this, I mean, it was just like
yeah, yeah,
that dude hit it on the head.
yeah,
I mean, wow. Just and this is these are these people, and this is the reason why,
yeah.
we can't rely on them. We can't we have to do it ourselves, because they're not going to do it. They're just going to continue
They don't care. Yeah,
so
they're just gonna do more of the same.
yeah, absolutely, yeah,
But
wow.
but but it was pathetic, right? I mean, it's pathetic and at the same time sad because tomorrow is gonna be more of the same.
Well, it's pathetic and sad, but it's treason. It's
Yeah,
literally treason. Anybody, including that gentleman, whatever his name is, press secretary, whatever he is, and everybody else in the government that is complicit in and knows information about what's going on, and laws that have been broken by Biden or anybody else in the government, they are complicit, and they are
yeah,
conspirators to treason. And the thing is, though, is that we've gotten so far away from the we've gotten so far away from anybody really respecting or having any understanding of the law or anything like that. And these people run rampant, and people ask themselves every day, how did we get here? Why are we here? The reason why we're here is because we have been lazy. We have been silent. We have not stood up. I mean,
yeah,
I'm not an advocate of violence whatsoever, but I have to say that I really respect the French people. I mean, I don't know if you've been paying attention to what's been going
yeah,
on in France, but I
absolutely.
mean, the French are always rioting and protesting about something. I mean, right now it's because a kid got shot. One kid
Yeah,
gets shot and the entire country goes crazy. And this is the thing, is like, do we need the looting and the burning of buildings and things? I don't necessarily think that that's productive, but I do think
yeah,
it's productive to have mass non-compliance. I do think it's productive to be united and shut down. I mean, really, honestly, if we wanted to, here's the one thing: is what do these people want? They want control, and they want money. So first and foremost, they don't have any either one of those things if they don't have us in the system. So like I was saying before, if you are fit, if you are individually wealthy, if you are independent and you don't need their system, then that takes their control away from them. Second of all, if you imagine if, let's say, 50 million business owners in the United States, in protest of what's going on, decided to shut down their businesses for 2 days in the United States. Imagine what impact that would make on the government. It would make a huge impact, because all of these people that are on government salaries, they don't make their money from being in the government. They make their money from backdoor deals, etc., in
yeah,
business, so on and so forth. It's like, people wonder, how does someone like, let's just say someone like Hillary Clinton, come into office in like 2010 or whatever it was, and she doubles her net worth by the time that she gets out? It's just like, it's
it
not
doesn't make sense.
it doesn't make sense, because it's illegal. They're doing all of this inside trading, all of these backdoor deals, all of this information. They're literally using their power to get ahead, and to basically bend themselves around the rules to make more money. And it's gross. And it's just, I know that for me, I try to live my life in a way that is outside of this system, and I try to speak as loud as I possibly can, because I don't want my kids to grow up in a world like this. I
I
want
agree.
this is the reason why. I don't really, I mean, for me, it's like, okay, I've got another 60, 70 years on this planet, sure, but and I really hope something changes in that time. But really, for me, it's as a dad, it's more about being my kids and everybody's kids,
Yeah,
because we just,
creating a good environment for them.
yeah, we can't leave the world like this. It's our duty, it's our responsibility as human beings. And also, on a spiritual level, I also feel that a lot of us are here at this time to help and shift the world to a better place.
Yeah.
And I know for one that I volunteered to come here and do that. So,
Oh, I
that's
agree.
why I do what I do. That's why I'm here with Meta One, because we're standing for freedom, we're standing for transparency, we're standing for an honorable system. And there's a lot of other groups and people out there who are doing the same. And I just think that the
Yeah.
more of us who can do that, the better, in whatever way you can do it, but it's important to use your voice and use your power. So
Absolutely. And I now that you were mentioning the thing that happened in France, I mean, I just wanted to share this with you real quick. So almost immediately after this happened, France passes a bill that would allow police to spy on suspects through digital devices.
yeah, I saw
So
this.
so there's well, this is my theory that a lot of the riots that are happening, they're just paid actors, because most of the people are not even French. They're either Africans or Muslims.
Hmm.
So my theory is that these guys are paid people, and they did this to pass this law for more control. I mean, I could be wrong, but
Yeah.
it is very suspicious. I mean, this is pretty much the end of privacy. I mean, you can be, naked in your room, just coming out of a shower, and it could be some police guy spying on you or your wife, or I mean, it's not natural for to be able to be spied or heard by the police. It's completely anti-natural, and I mean, it's I don't know. I just wanted to share my thoughts on this
Yeah, I mean,
situation.
I absolutely agree. I think that it's absolutely possible. It's a very plausible theory that it was kind of a stage situation, or at least a situation that was fabricated to kind of pass this. I totally could see that. But the thing is that people go, oh well, that will never happen here, or at least for me living in America,
Yeah,
it would never happen here. Well, listen, it's happening. I mean, it happened.
yeah,
They just the US government just does it in a different way. They do it very sneakily and kind
yeah,
of behind your back, and the French are just kind of doing it in your face, like, here you go.
yeah,
And gosh, man, if I lived in France, I would be moving.
yeah.
I would be looking for a new
Absolutely.
place to live.
They do it when the Super Bowl is on.
Oh yeah, they do it with the Super Bowl. They do it. I mean, look at, I'm sure you saw. I'm not sure if you did, but you there was an article that came out a few weeks ago about the Ring camera, and how just all of a sudden after an audit they found out that every Ring camera account was accessible and available to every single employee in the Ring company, including HR and all these other ancillary consultants. And basically, they could look at anybody's live Ring feed from their Ring camera, wherever it was, at any time.
I did not hear that, but I'm familiar with the situation with Edward Snowden and the guy from WikiLeaks.
Oh
So
yeah, yeah, man.
I'm not surprised.
Oh yeah, and I mean, and the government does even crazier things than that. I mean,
Yeah,
your camera's your phone's microphone is on all the time. I mean, and I'll show you the exact evidence that I confirms that your phone's microphone is on all the time. Have you ever
I
had
know.
a situation where you're talking to a friend about something that you're interested in? Like, let's just say it's like, I don't know, some new scuba gear because you want to get into diving, and then you talk about that the 1 hour, and then you pick up your phone and you're on Instagram, and then all of the ads on Instagram are for diving equipment.
Absolutely, man. I mean, I'll prove it to you right now. Before, well, it's actually gone now, but there we go. So before, I was talking about buying furniture for a property that I have, and check it out. It's showing. I mean, I didn't even look for it. I didn't type anything. I was just I was on the phone with someone saying that I need to buy a couch for the house or whatever, and
Yep.
it's not now showing me, couches and beds, and I didn't even look for it. So yeah,
Yeah.
man, it's
It's
exactly
crazy.
what you're.
It's crazy. And so, that's the thing. That's not why I'm such a big privacy advocate. That's why I go
Yeah.
really above and beyond to be more private and because they're using us like cattle. They're using our information, they're selling our information, they're making money off of that. But then, a lot of these companies, as we know, these big giant global companies, they are in bed and they have assets of the government embedded inside of their companies, and they grant access to the government to be able to see these things. And it's crazy. It's craziness. And that just goes to show the social media stuff with what happened with the judge and Biden. Unfortunately, I personally do not think that anything is going to come of that, because the US government does not care about the law. They don't follow the law, and they never really have. And so a judge can say all they want, but the thing is behind closed doors in these secret government agencies that are, black ops kind of operations, they're going to do it anyway. I mean, it's just the same thing. It's like, so this judge comes out and says that the government can't censor social media, but the Twitter files come out, and which happened a few months ago. Matt Taibbi spends like half of a year just diving and dumping all this information on social media, and nobody goes to jail, nobody gets sued, nobody gets charged with anything. I mean, it just goes to show that it's kind of like a symbolic thing. It's like, hey guys, you shouldn't do that, don't do that, guys. And then that's it, and they just keep on doing it. You know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah.
it's like, think about it. It's like the Biden's the Hunter Biden stuff. It's like, if any of us out here in the real world, real human beings, if any of us regular people did half of those things that guy did, we would be in jail for the rest of our lives. But
Yeah.
this guy like literally commits treason, and I'm sure that cocaine in the White House was his, and all of this other stuff. And what does he get? He gets a slap on the wrist, and then his parents say, oh, we're so proud of our son, and he's rebuilding his life. I mean, it's just,
I know. And you know what? That's why I like Donald Trump so much, because
right.
I mean, I don't agree with anything he does, because he's something else. But I support him a lot, because he's a nuclear bomb to the current system of people in control. So
Yeah.
they're so afraid of him, because he's a regular guy that's not has nothing to do with the Hillary, Obama,
Yep.
Bush administration, CIA.
No, he's not part of the deep state. He's
No,
not part of
no,
their
he's not.
fan club. Yep.
So I mean, I don't think he's the guy to take America, to higher levels. But I think he's the bomb that's gonna detonate the deep state. That's gonna eliminate the deep state, and maybe in the next election we'll have someone more refined, with brighter ideas, with more understanding what's going on. But I think that Donald Trump is necessary for that.
Yeah, he's definitely a force of nature, that's for sure.
Yeah, exactly. He's a force of nature we need. Might not be the best. He might not be too classy. He might be, a little peculiar, but he's our crazy guy.
Yeah, he is, for sure. For sure. Well, this has been an awesome show. And we really appreciate you tuning in and listening. And drop us your thoughts and comments in the comments below. If you want to hear us talk about some particular topic, or if you have a particular question that you want to bring up, we're happy to chat about what you're interested in. We want to hear from you, the community. And yeah, do you have any final words, Fernando?
No, I guess you've said everything already. Just give us a like, subscribe, drop a comment. Let us know if you want to hear anything from us, and I hope to see you guys back on the next one.
Thanks so much, everybody. Have a great day. Bye-bye.